What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao, bringing you the news from Taipei. It's now been 1 month since a major earthquake struck off the eastern county of Hualien. That area is still dealing with the aftermath, including a series of aftershocks that continues to cause damage. Our reporter Reefs joins us live from the entrance to Taroko National Park in Hualien. Reefs, what's it like down there?
Well, Eric, this whole area is still in the process of recovery, particularly the tourism gem that is Taroko National Park, one of Taiwan's top attractions, and it's quickly becoming the symbol of the destruction caused by that quake on April 3rd. Now, just over a kilometer behind me there, behind those gates, is the Shakadang Trail, a walking path famous for its crystal blue waters. If you've ever visited Taroko Gorge, you've probably walked that path. That trail is where some of the worst and most dramatic landslides occurred, and also where several of those 18 deaths were reported. Further up inside the gorge is the small settlement of Tianxiang. Now, businesses there have all been closed indefinitely, and for now, this is as close as we can get to Taroko, and that's because a fresh series of landslides triggered by aftershocks and heavy rains has forced authorities to close the roads once again.
So Reese, what's the outlook for Taroko? How are residents in the area getting by?
Well, seeing as experts are warning that these aftershocks could continue for another 3 to 6 months, it doesn't look like Taroko National Park is going to be safe to visit again anytime soon, particularly as the epicenter of those aftershocks moves towards Taiwan's central mountain range. There have been over 1,300 aftershocks since that first major quake, with 5 of those over magnitude 6 being felt all across the country. Folks living in proximity to the gorge say they live in constant fear of those aftershocks, and not only do they fear for their physical safety, but local business owners say they're worried their livelihoods may not survive as tourism in the area, which is a huge industry along Taiwan's east coast, just plummets. Hualien is expected to lose out on over $150 million in tourism income, a number that could rise as Taiwan anticipates yet more aftershocks.
Thanks, Reese. Stay safe out there. That was Reese Ayers reporting live from Taroko National Park in Hualien County. Now, as we just heard, Hualien relies heavily on tourism for its economy. The central government is now offering more assistance to get the sector back on its feet. John Van Trieste has the details.
A month on from the magnitude 7.2 earthquake that rocked Hualien in eastern Taiwan, ruined buildings still wait to be torn down. But there's damage that can't be seen, too. The tourism industry that many locals rely on is in tatters, with hotels destroyed, attractions closed, and bookings sharply down. The cabinet says it has a plan to help.
投入的重建经费呢是会超过285亿，从优、从速、从简的方式，尽力来协助地方政府还有地方的灾民。
Around $507 million will go into fixing infrastructure, including railways, plus preparing a key local attraction, rockslide hit Taroko National Park, for reopening. $180 million will go to help displaced people find new accommodation and rebuild their homes. This includes rental subsidies. And $126 million will go to helping businesses, with a special focus on boosting tourism with travel subsidies for visitors. The subsidies will be available for 3 months, starting from July. The vice premier is heading to Hualien Saturday to talk over this package with local officials.
那预计在这礼拜6，行政院副院长郑文灿会跟相关中央部会的人来到花莲，跟县府就所有的执行细节会有比较详细的一些讨论。
But some in Hualien aren't happy with the plan. The chief problem they have with it is that the tourism subsidies also cover neighboring Taidong County further down the coast. This area wasn't as badly affected, and with its tourism sector still intact, there are fears would-be visitors to Hualien will be siphoned off.
尤其是7月，他们即将迎接的是他们的热气球补助政策，把台东纳进去，确实会把花莲的这个观光效益严重的稀释掉。
Some in Hualien's tourism sector even say they may go to Taipei to protest this part of the plan, meaning Hualien's path to recovery looks to be a contentious one. Chris Ma and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
The Transport Ministry and Tourism Bureau, they are pitching into those efforts to get visitors back to Hualien. Tiffany Wong was at one of their promotional events.
This is a temporary market in the halls of a Taipei metro station, and all the vendors are from Hualien. That's the epicenter of a magnitude 7.2 earthquake that rocked the country last month. Now, these vendors are hoping to boost the county's tourism industry and remind people of the products and sites that the county is known for, like rose quartz, which is found on the beaches of Hualien. 最新生意怎么样？
差很多。自从地震之后，花莲少了许多的游客，那现在比较平稳了。那希望大家能够再去花莲旅游，其实还蛮安全的。谢谢。
Hualien is home to the largest indigenous population in Taiwan, and vendors like these hope to showcase cultural products that can't be found anywhere else. 请问你们产品的特色是什么？
我们主要打的特色就是马告，就是珊瑚礁。我们太鲁阁族是原住民最常用的珊瑚礁。
The Transport Ministry announced over $160 million in funds to help Hualien recover, and some of that will be going to tourism initiatives, like offering subsidies on tour packages and hotels. Now, vendors will be here in Taipei for the next 2 days, but they're hoping that when they return to Hualien, they'll bring a few more tourists back with them. Kama Shui and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Vice President-elect Bi Kim-hsiao is pushing for Taiwan to be formally included in the U.S. defense supply chain.
Together, we can manufacture nearly anything as efficiently and reliably as anyone in the world.
Hsiao gave a pre-recorded speech to a national security conference in Washington, D.C. She says Taiwan wants to join the U.S. Defense Department's security of supply arrangements, which prioritize military contracts and deliveries between the U.S. and partner countries. She says with Russia and China working more closely together in military affairs, Taiwan and the U.S. must cooperate to maintain their edge. Taipei officials are cracking down on illegal building extensions that endanger public safety.
顶楼的部分，比如说你隔层3个以上的使用单元，寄存违建发生过火灾，还是说你没有装助警器，这部分我们都会优先处理。
In 2023 alone, the Taipei government removed over 1,600 illegal extensions in the capital. But official statistics show that there are still more than 700,000 nationwide. Taipei usually tears down illegal extensions as soon as they're reported to authorities. But demolition may be put off if it's an older building that doesn't pose a threat to public safety. Taipei is now the oldest city in the country, with more than 1 in 5 residents aged 65 and above. In March, the Taipei city government recorded almost 560,000 people in this age bracket, more than 22% of the total population. The city's senior centers have started using technology to help care for older citizens. These include real-time video monitors and remote medical care. Taiwan overall is projected to become a super-aged society next year, when more than a fifth of the population is 65 and over. Taiwan's main electricity supplier says new government subsidies and April's price hike should cut its losses significantly this year.
4月1号的电价调整11% 之后，会增加630亿，那再加上这1000亿，那另外我们考虑最近燃料价格回跌，估计今年的亏损可以缩小到100亿左右。
The subsidy proposal was put forward by the cabinet. Taipower originally expected to lose about $6.5 billion this year. Electricity prices are closely watched here in Taiwan because they have a big impact on people's livelihood. Opposition lawmakers passed a non-binding resolution earlier this week calling on the government to freeze price hikes. They're also working on a bill requiring future hikes to be approved by lawmakers first. Temperatures have risen to record levels across South and Southeastern Asia amid a sweltering heat wave. The weather is causing mayhem in the region, and as Rosie Greninger reports, the heat is making life even harder for people fleeing conflict in Myanmar.
Refugees in war-ravaged eastern Myanmar queue to collect water rations. Here at this displacement camp, they're forced to survive on limited water resources, using it for drinking, washing clothes and showering. But as temperatures become sweltering, the little they're given is nowhere near enough.
ချိန်ရမှာကတော့ချွေးတာ4လောက်ပါပဲရေဒီတည်းမချိုးလောက်ဘူးဆိုရင်ကျမတို့ဒီတည်းကတော့ကိုလက်အင်္ဂါလောက်ပဲဆေးတယ်အဲ့လိုပဲဖြစ်သွားတယ်2ရက်တစ်ခါလောက်ပဲချိုးသွားတာပေါ့တစ်ခါတလေဆိုကလေးဆိုရင်တစ်ပတ်2ခါလောက်ပဲဖြစ်သွားတယ်အဲ့လိုပဲချိန်မိသွားပါတယ်
According to the United Nations, more than 123,000 people have been forced to flee their homes in Kaya by the conflict unleashed by the military coup in 2021. And now, the heatwave plaguing South and Southeast Asia is adding uncertainty to the lives of those displaced and worsening the situation in these camps. This week, Myanmar recorded its hottest ever April temperature of 48.2 degrees Celsius.
နော်ဒီအိမ်တော့ကျမတို့ဒီနေတဲ့နေရာတားအေးတယ်အေးအရင်ပြီးခဲ့တဲ့နေ့ပေါ့နော်အေးတဲ့ရာသီဖြစ်တယ်ပူတယ်ဆိုတာမခံစားရဘူးဒီတနေ့ကအရန်ပူပြင်းနေတယ်ပူပြင်းတော့ဘယ်လောက်ထိပူပြင်းနေလဲဆိုတော့ကျမတို့ကအများအားဟောပေါ့နော်ညအိတ်တာမှစောင့်ချုံစရာမလိုဘူးချွေးထွက်တာပေါ့မနေ့မိုးလင်းတာလည်းချွေးထွက်တယ်
March and April are usually the hottest months in this region, but this year the temperatures have been worsened by climate change and the El Nino weather pattern. Charity organisation Clean Yagoon delivers water at least twice a week to camps for the internally displaced. With the rising petrol costs due to the military regime restricting fuel, transportation is becoming more difficult.
စစ်ဆောင်တွေအရင်တော့ဒီရွာကန်တွေပဲရှိတဲ့အခါကျတော့နည်းနည်းအဆင်ပြေသေးတယ်အခုကျတော့ဒီနေရာချင်းချင်းလေးမှာအနေနဲ့ရဲကစစ်ဆောင်တွေလာရှောင်ရတဲ့အခါကျတော့လူဦးရေနဲ့ရေထွက်မှုကမမျှတတဲ့အခါကျတော့အင်မတန်ဒုက္ခရောက်နေတာလေးတွေ့ရပါတယ်
Refugees in the camp say they often need to borrow water from neighbours and return it once they receive their next delivery, leaving them short for the next 4 to 5 days. Already struggling to access enough water to live and now faced with record temperatures, the thousands displaced here are dreading the weeks ahead. Dolphin Chen and Rosie Greninger for TaiwanPlus.
South Korea's parliament has voted to launch an independent investigation into the deadly Seoul Halloween crowd crush of 2022. The bill will create a special committee to look into what caused the incident and who was responsible, a process that could take over a year. Relatives of the 159 victims have long called for an independent probe since few top-level officials have been held accountable. A police investigation last year found that a lack of preparation and poor response were the main factors behind the incident. As coral spawning season starts off southern Taiwan, scientists are warning that divers going to see the spectacle could disrupt the annual event.
国外已经有研究显示，夜间的人工照明会影响这个珊瑚正常的生殖活动，包括沿岸的这些光害啊，还有大量的这个潜水客在夜间的这些照明。
Scientists have also found that there are more corals off Taiwan's southern tip this year than last year. That's due to reduced impact from typhoons and warm currents. A rare type of seahorse has been found off Taiwan's south coast for the first time. Sandy Chi has the details.
This tiny fellow has been spotted in the waters of Xiaoliuqiu, a small island off Taiwan's southwest coast. And while it may seem like an ordinary seahorse, it's raised eyebrows among divers here. The species of pygmy seahorse is tiny and well camouflaged, usually spotted among seagrass, soft corals, or sea fans around Green Island, all the way on the east side of Taiwan. Local divers say they spotted 2 of them off Xiaoliuqiu, and 1 was pregnant.
照顾卵，然后孵化成小海马的过程是由雄性来孵育。这一只海马其实是一只雄性的，然后目前它的腹部可以看到它明显的肿大那其实是有一个育幼的一个过程。
Although only 2 were found around Xiaoliuqiu, divers here are hoping they continue to breed so they'll be here to stay. Ethan Chen and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Eric Gao. We'll see you next time.